got ourselves a weak next versus Redguard, getting him with, oh, the freeze after he goes in for the setup, does go for a trinket into a feign death though. Redguard trying to see if he can make some plays here, but Weak doing the big pyroblast damage. Sorry for this video. I'm so gung-ho because we just saw some class changes, some really good changes for Torghast, and I'm so happy about it. Sorry, I'll try to keep my content. With Combustion coming out for Weak here, but looks like the Turtle Shell is going to simmer him down for a moment, freezing, trapped by Redguard, as Redguard so far has had a fiery opener to his game, but looks like very health is quite low. I know I'm getting his name wrong. I'm trying to say it like a German, okay? I'm trying to give it like a German accent. It's going to come out wrong. I know it's going to happen. Nova to the pet. Looks like Nova doesn't happen. Weak does have himself a full set of shields though. First aid getting interrupted, and I'm actually glad we're seeing a fire mage with the triple shield legendary in the open. It looks like he's taking quite a bit of damage. I'm wondering how much health recovery he's gonna get. Nova, breath getting missed. That's gonna be Ring of Frost, not getting the value. Does freeze the pet though, and Redguard is gonna take a bit of that damage. Oh my goodness, swapped the wrong person every time. I'm so sorry. Redguard having to fight Weak by himself right now. With the sun to follow, it's going to be maybe Meteor. Redguard does take the Meteor. Ice Block does come out as Weak. Get himself a full reset with a frosty touch. He got himself some icy cold in there. And that's going to be many betters, but looks like the fire damage mastery doesn't burn him out. Wait a second. Oh, he barely. Oh, no. Weak does go for that blink into a fire blast, taking him out. Red dress. A redress? It's like, is it red? No, red redress. What? Big bites onto Weak, but let's get himself the all the time. Altering all the bite, big bleed damage. Trying to get himself a G-Pie. Looks like it's going to happen. Red dress apparently did trick something. Weak does get himself a big old shield set up. Does the shield heal him a bit? Big bites and shields are barely healing him. Wait a second. Oh, does he not run the conduit? He might not. Combustion coming out with the cauterize. Every bit of damage coming in. While available for Red dress, but I think Weak is gone and done. Does have the pod. I don't know if Red dress should have any issues. Does have Tigers less necessary. Take down the pod. And looks like it's going to be down for the count for that fire mage. With Menace, though, going to be up next on Team 1. It looks like he's giving the Feral Druid a bit of an honor duel. Letting him at least catch up on a little bit of health before he goes in deep. Doing a bit as honorable as anybody can. Looking at the eyes, though. Red dress is on the prowl. Ready for that opener. Ready to strike. Going for big damage, Kyrian and Feral, which is something interesting. We don't see that often. But he does get a big opener onto Menethil. Look at his health. It's still continuing to dip. Might have to go for even more defenses. Mind Games comes out, and that should be pretty big damage onto Red Dress. Puts him in a bad spot. Big, huge execute by Menethil. Catching up on a lot of health, too. Just taking the Feral downtown. No trinket available. I don't think he had Barkskin or anything. And any kind of healing. I mean, he's just going to do damage back to himself with those Mind Games. Kind of crazy. Cat him up next. Trying to go for the Marksman Hunter play. Resonant Arrow. Does Menethil go for Great Fate? He does. Cat him. Saving the Rapid Fire. Does go for Rapid Fire after the damage goes through. Trying to make the aim shots happen. Does get some damage through the wall anyway. Menethil caught up on a bit of health, though. Caught up on quite a bit of health. And Ketum, did you just use Explosive Shot on somebody else for a second? Or was that a Roar by the Warrior? I think it was Roar by Rage. It looked like Explosive Shot went off them. Ketum continuing to strip away buffs from Menethil. The Mind Games is going to hit Ketum. Might have to go for a feign death here to remove it. Looks like he's going to continue aim shotting and healing Menethil. He's literally healing him. You're literally healing the competition. Which is super unfortunate when that happens. But that's Mind Games, man. It plays with the mind. But I guess if you're gonna heal the enemy, it's better than hurting yourself, right? Oh no, it hurt itself in its confusion. That's just the most tragic thing in Pokemon. That's gonna be a bonding shot as Keto, I think, maybe setting up for another setup with a double tap. Resonant Shot does get an interrupt onto Menethil. Rapid Fire still coming through. That's going to be a Great Fate used by Menethil really early. Fear does trick it out of it with a Feint Death Scatter Shot. If you can somehow get a setup onto Menethil behind the pillar, Resonant Shot comes out. Does he have a setup here? There's going to be a stun by Menethil. They're turning the damage around onto Ketum. Turtle Shell comes in as he's trying to go for a little bit of Mind Games. Trap onto Menethil. Does get himself a bit of a catch-up. Ketum is going to have to go again. Actually get himself a reset with a Kama. I'm surprised you're actually able to pull your pet back. I was thinking Menethil would maybe get the tag on the pet. As soon as you see the hunter go for a Turtle Shell, I guess he would turn around and do the damage to the pet. Throwing down a trap. Looks like Menethil doesn't see it. Resonant Shot, I think not available for Ketum. Double tap kind of went to waste too. It looks like Kedem is just going to have to wait out Manatho a little bit. He knows where he's at. Budding Shot is up. He's going to get bound. I think he's just trying to wait out the eyes at this point. Maz's spell doesn't... Oh, he actually used it on himself. I was thinking he was going to use it towards Kedem to maybe get him caught in combat. But looks like it's a very, very unfortunate setup for Kedem. Does go for a shot onto Manatho. Does he go for Resonant Shot here? He has everything available very, very soon. He needs to get the... He needs to get the Greater Fade out of Manatho. I don't know if he's going to be able to. Rapid Fire does come out. Manatho Greater Fading to walk up to get him. Perfect opportunity. Kedem might actually be in a good spot here. That's going to be Binding Shot with the Resonating. Double tap available. Actually, double aim shot goes in next instead. Explosive Shot to follow. Going to be a Disperse as Manatho decides, you know what? This is a lot of damage. I better not treat it lightly. Kedem continuing to just get his Rapid Fires in. Silence on a Manatho, which might put him in a bad situation. Manatho does go for the Vampiric Embrace. That could be lots of damage to the pet too. Could turn around and just start slapping the pet. Goes in for Shadowlands instead. Kedem is a little bit behind on health, but he has the setup. So far, he's been able to do well. Manatho just had the Disperse available for it, but Manatho's now out of everything. As long as you get a Greater Fade out of him and have a perfect go, you might be in a really good spot. And Manatho has been known so far to use Greater Fade to walk up to Kedem quickly to try to land a fear. There goes the stun. No shot comes out. Kedem bailing out of there. Lots of damage on him. That's going to be the Greater Fade for Manatho to catch up to Kedem. There he goes doing it again. If Kedem can just go for a Binding Shot, does land it. Does he get a Resonant Shot? Double tap almost available. I think he might just have to go for a Resonant Shot right now. He might just have to do it. Double tap available now. It's going to be Manatho jumping in there. Manatho getting hit with a Freezing Trap as the Fear comes in, tricking for Kedem. Does get a Silence onto the Mind Games though. Rapid Fire comes in. Does he have a setup? Slow onto Manatho. Does he go for the shot? Double tap available. Manatho going for the shot immense. Resonant Shot does go through. Double tap comes in. Trying to go for an interrupt. Does he have the execute? Oh, does get the execute through the wall. Kind of just waited long enough. The patience of this man. And I think that should be an important lesson to Manatho. Manatho played really well. Though Greater Fade, using that to catch up to the Hunter, not a bad idea sometimes, but should be saved for that big ability. If you played it safely, Kedem would just have to wait until you use that ability, and then you wouldn't have much of a play. Freezing Trap reflect back to Kedem as Rage going in for a setup, hooking him down, not able to go anywhere. Kedem is just out of options. And Rage taking him out, just roots him in place with a Spear of Bastion to get the big executes in, and Kedem just didn't really have much damage or much defenses really to kind of keep wowing here. Our hero up next does get a poly onto Rage with a G-Pie loaded up, boys. A big old G-Pile loading up with a Ring of Frost, but doesn't keep Rage frozen. He just does not stop. He doesn't freeze when he sees a mage just combusting Pyroblast into him back to back. Avatar and Bladestorm comes out together. I think I know which legendary he's running. He's probably running the one where it allows it to get cooldowns back to back. Well, you press one ability, gives you the other. So I guess it was Bladestorm that gave him the Avatar, really. But either way, Rage kind of finds himself low on health. He's going to go for a bit of a self-heal with Taxi on his team as a Warlock. Try to see if he can turn the damage and attention onto the images. Shifting power coming out for our Heroic as he's catching up on a bit of defenses here and offensives. Rage super low on health. Needs to get himself charges onto our Heroic. Reflect available. Nova. Oh no. Does get a charge or he could blink out of it. Does blink out of it. Rage, does he have a leap? He does have a leap. Needs to get his Bloodthirst in there immediately. Does break out of that Dragon's Breath pretty early on them. Ring of Frost tried to stop him in place. You can't even see what this thing is at. You can barely see it. Looks like Rage is going to Bladestorm through it. Does get himself more cooldowns rolling. Archie is going to get himself a lot of catch up on health. And Rage knows exactly where he is at. Not going to let him go anywhere. Does get those charges in to get a heal. And that's going to be lots of heal catch up. Polly trying to come out. Does get interrupted. Looks like the bread didn't last long. The relentless play for Rage is actually perfect. Ice Block does get to break through it with a Shattering Throw. Going to be Archie with a Bladestorm getting him down. Polly will try to come out and reflect the Polly. Breaking it immediately. Archie actually taken down with a low health. That's going to be cauterized. That's going to be a pod. And Rage the Fury Warrior just using all that rage in his bank to blast through a Fire Mage. Maybe those nerfs to the shields were good enough, Blizzard. Maybe they were. Unstoppable is going to be up next. I want you to change the name Unstoppable. Unsoftable. I would like Unsoftable. You don't make this man soft ever. Nothing makes him soft. He always goes in hard into every duel. Rage does take down the totem. Oh, I literally lost words there for a second. Fear onto the shaman as well as the pet, as Rage trying to give himself a little bit of a reset. Bastion Spear runs in, and that's going to be Sophable rooted, but he's not going to go anywhere. Just going to take the damage to the face. Big zaps available versus Rage. He sees him low enough on Rage just without any more defenses. That little bit of defensive within Rage regen coming up so soon. Violent up next as a Shadow Priest on team 2, trying to swap to him. There he is. As a Nightborn? Night Elf? I think it's a Night Elf. It's going to be a big lasso available for Insufferable. Violent taking a bit of damage from the lasso. That was Void Eruption there used. That's going to be Interrupt missed by Insufferable. Allowing Violent to catch up on a little bit of health. Insufferable just goes in for a bunch of Lava Bursts with a Primordial Bolt. Lots of damage back to back to the Shadow Priest. Just eating those hits back to back. Those Lava Bursts, those meatballs are just hurting. Those things are just hurting right now. Frost Shock slowing down Violent for a bit. And Insufferable trying to get himself just a bit more damage to Violent. Stun onto Insufferable. That's going to be Mind Games trying to come out for Violent. Does recover himself with a silence onto Insufferable. The Mind Games go out. Insufferable knows he can't heal himself right now. And I think he actually is healing himself while in Ghost Wolf. I think he actually is healing himself a bit while in Ghost Wolf. Has an on-time, most likely for it. Violent pushing in for a fear. Do they have any kind of CC chains right after? Trying to get some dodge, but Insufferable got that weird fear pathing. Creating some line of sight. Insufferable has himself some instant cast ready. Does Violent have an answer for it? Looks like it's going to be some healer charges for Insufferable. I think he's waiting for the Lava Burst proc. He has the big lightning in his hands. There's a lot of procs available. Lots of damage available very, very soon. Walking up. Frost Shock still coming out. Trying to get a Lava Burst in me with a bunch of zaps. Zaps and Lava Bursts come out. Violent still holding on to his disperse right now. Trinkets out of that lasso. Stun on Insufferable. That's good, some Mind Blasts, but Insufferable just is unmovable. Just unstoppable. I think he's still rolling that Urchill Legendary. That's going to give him more procs when he's low health. And also those procs for Earth Shield are a lot stronger. A lot stronger. So every time he has the Earth Shield up, just a massive amount of heal. I wonder for Violent if it's worth to clean it out. Like to just dispel the Earth Shield every single time he can. It might be worth. Insufferable trying to get himself a bit of a catch up. Gonna be Shadow Crash, doesn't hit him. He's just waiting to Ghost Wolf getting any kind of free healing. Gonna be a Door of Shadows available for Violent. Trying to see if he can push in onto the Shaman. Primordial Bolt comes in. Potentially lots of Lava Bursts could come out of that one. Light Lasso available for Insufferable. Getting Violent kind of low. Continuing to Frost Shock him, but it looks like he's just not getting those procs for Lava Bursts at all. Primordial Bolts do come out, but he's just not getting Lava Burst procs at all. There goes the Meteor. Big Zaps available. Violent kind of lagged all over the place for a moment. With a stun on Insufferable, does have a trigger for it. Interrupt him on Shadow. Zaps available. Does he have the Lava Burst to finish it? Disperse comes out. And Insufferable, does he have the finisher power here? We are at 48% dampening. Violent is not going to catch up on a lot of health here. The Shadowmans do go in to supplement the health bar after. Looks like Violent is lagging a little bit as they're just running while stunned. Super on forward stun around the corner. Violent does get hit by it. Insufferable does get a free cast. Fear onto Insufferable. Did it trigger for it? Looks like he did not. Had himself a tremor available. Silence on Insufferable, but that's going to be Violent not in a good position. Not a lot of help. Primordial Bolt available. Just needs one more Lava Burst. Violent is again lagging all over the place. I wonder if that's what Insufferable is seeing, or that's just something we're seeing here on stream, because we are in an A while this is an EU duel. Lasso, and that's going to be down for the count as Insufferable is going to have to go versus Tagsy. Tagsy, the Shadow Priest on team 1. Playing the Shadow Priest, did I say? I mean, Affliction Warlock. Playing without a pet, but it looks of it. Looks like he has a pet sacrifice. He's seen some dots onto Insufferable. UA is coming out, and I think he just would win with a dampener game. He's going to go for the Dark Lid, trying to see if he can land a fear onto Insufferable. Wall comes out for the Shaman. And Tagsy just eating the damage to the face here. Is going to land a fear onto Insufferable, trying to go for a bit of damage. Drain Life getting interrupted. It looks like the dodge should do work. If Tagsy can go for an interrupt around the corner onto Insufferable, he'll be in a really good spot. Trying to maintain the UA and drain life from afar. Insufferable does still have quite good healing. The Earth Shield Legendary is still continuing to give him lots of survivability here. Tagsy, though, hasn't had to use a defensive yet. Trinkets out of that lasso. And I think this guy's just going to have to whittle down the Shaman over time with the dots. Unless Insufferable can somehow catch back up. His mana is running low, so he's going to have to switch to using aggressive abilities, offensive powers, in order to make some damage happen. Otherwise, playing the healing game is just not going to go for him, especially at 58% dampener. Trying to get Lava Burst in. That's going to be a nice, good old proc. Tagsy takes a bit of damage. He's going to go for a Soul Rod. Mortal Coil into Insufferable, trying to keep the dots rolling there. Stormkeeper coming out from Insufferable. He's trying to get himself a big zap, trying to turn around to Tagsy, but looks like the dots didn't even pop wall. He felt so confident in his damage. He didn't even pop wall. Affliction Warlock's been dominating in that high dampening meta. Not so just about everybody gets to play this game. Very well played. We had a Fury Warrior, boys. Fury Warrior. That was actually so much fun watching Fury.